Mariah reveals her secret, and it's a killer. The events that transpired on The Young and the Restless. On The Young and the Restless, Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, was contacted by Nick, Joshua Morrow. Daniel played guitar while Tessa sang a song in the park. They talked about music, and Daniel suggested that Tessa could be his +1 for his father, Danny's, wedding to cricket. Tessa said that could be their gift to Danny and Christine. Daniel put the brakes on and said he was kidding. Tessa made the observation that Lucy might not enjoy Daniel's music as much as he does not like hers. Tessa said Daniel's song could go professional. She ought to be aware because she has written some bad ones. He dared her to prove it. She said this song was too good to keep to itself. Daniel asked if she did vinyl records or digital. Daniel thanked Tessa for helping him. "I feel like I owe you so much," he said. Tessa urged Daniel to give himself credit. She said Danny will be happy once Danny hears his song. Daniel claimed that it was our tune. He said she made it beautiful, just like she is. Mariah appeared in the background as Tessa thanked Daniel for praising her beauty. Mariah was asked by Tessa if she was okay. Tessa asked Daniel for alone time with Mariah. Daniel thanked Tessa and said goodbye to Mariah. Mariah noticed that Daniel and Tessa were getting along. Tessa told Mariah she looked tired. Mariah said she'd been going to dark places in her mind. Mariah said she needed to step things up. Tessa asked Mariah what that meant. Mariah said her therapist suggested a clinic in Boston. Tessa said that Aria can tell when she's with Mariah that she is not giving her all of her attention. Tessa said they can't hide anything from her. Mariah said that maybe Tessa was right. Maybe Aria shouldn't look at her this way. Tessa said that's not what she meant. Mariah stated that she was a mess and was uncertain about her absence. Tessa blasted Mariah's therapist for suggesting she run away. Mariah said she was sorry for all of this. Tessa asked Mariah to trust her. Tessa got ready to go. "I tried to kill a man," Mariah confessed. Kyle reiterated to Claire at Crimson Lights that he loved her. Claire shared that Kyle may not know how hard it is to trust people because of her Aunt Jordan. She said she's worked hard in therapy to get over that. Claire wasn't happy that Kyle made a secret deal with her grandfather, Victor, and that he didn't come forward right away about kissing Audra in Nice. Kyle reminded Claire that Victor was opposed to their relationship. He pointed out that Claire loves the man who hates him. He said the only thing Victor and Kyle have in common is their love for Claire. Claire conceded that Kyle made a big effort at Nikki's birthday party with his speech and gift. Kyle revealed that to reach Victor, he offered to give him $5 million and leave Genoa City if he ever hurt her. Claire said she was touched, but she wanted to know how Kyle arrived at that number. She wanted to know how Victor reacted. Kyle said he accepted. Kyle theorized that once he made an offer to Victor, he reached out to Audra and they put their deal together. "I would do anything for you," Kyle told Claire. Claire said Kyle remained quiet about kissing Claire because if he had been honest, it would have violated his contract with Victor and cost him $5 million. Kyle said he wasn't thinking about the contract. "I don't care about the money," Kyle said. He didn't want to make her sad. Claire said that Victor was impressed that Kyle kept quiet. Claire said she told him he didn't kiss Audra. Kyle wondered if Victor did the "I told you so" dance. Claire said he was surprisingly supportive of Kyle. Alas, Claire said both men have left her in the dark. In her head, Claire knows why Kyle did what he did. Claire worried that something more than a kiss had happened. She wanted to know why Kyle lied. He said he didn't know. Claire said she was drawn to Kyle because of his honesty. Claire is unsure whether the trust can be restored. Kyle said that Claire's eyes showed that she didn't trust him. He wanted to know what he could do to make it right. Claire said she didn't have an answer. She just needed time. "I wish I could let this go, but I can't," Claire lamented. Kyle said he was glad that Claire knew the truth. She said she needed time and space. Claire couldn't say how much. Claire said she wasn't going to the Abbott Communications launch party as Audra was going to be there. Kyle was urged to attend the party by Claire. He said Audra would make it into a cat fight. He made a cat sound, which got a laugh from Claire. She suggested that maybe they'll meet again in a better place in the future. Nick stared at a beautiful view from Chancellor Park. Phyllis arrived and stood close to him. She noted that the view wasn't quite the one from Kane's chateau. Nick said he preferred the one here. Nick said he wanted to get Phyllis alone. She quipped that if she were to fall and there was no one around to witness it. Nick said that a joke like that was too soon after France for a joke like that. Phyllis told Nick he didn't need to save her from herself. She said she knew that Kane was trouble. Nick said he wanted to keep Phyllis out of prison. Nick asked Phyllis if Kane was using Phyllis to learn about artificial intelligence, AI. Phyllis stated that she had not committed any illegal act. Nick stated, "Phyllis, you are a lot of things, but innocent is not one of them." Nick asked Phyllis if Kane had recruited her for her superior computer skills. She said she wasn't on trial. She started to walk away. Nick said Kane had hired her to help take over legacy businesses in Genoa City. He wanted to know if he was wrong. Phyllis accused Nick of looking out for his dad. "I'm setting boundaries, here," Phyllis said. "Well, that would be a first," Nick countered. "He is leading you down the wrong path," Nick pointed out to Phyllis. He asked her to think hard about the next steps she was going to take. Nick asked Phyllis if she trusted him. She said that she did. Nick revealed that Kane has sophisticated software to infiltrate other businesses that can destabilize corporate finances, which will force them to sell off. "You've been watching too many sci-fi films," Phyllis chuckled. She assured Nick she'd never seen him wear long lab coat or cackling. Nick stated that anyone who engages in this conduct will serve at least 10 years in prison. "I don't know anything about this," Phyllis said. Before she left, Phyllis requested that the next time Nick wants to grill her that he buy her a hot meal first. Nick said Phyllis was still dealing with what Martin Laurent did to her. Phyllis denied committing any crimes and said she hasn't hacked anything. She wouldn't put herself in a position where she'd be taken from her kids. Nick said he believed her, and he was relieved, but he wanted to know what Kane asked her to do. An offended Phyllis said any teenager who lived in their mom and dad's basement could hack into computers. Nick asked how far along Kane was in his plan. Nick insisted, Kane must be stopped. Phyllis sat down and said she'd reveal all to Nick. She claimed that Kane appeared to have pulled his plan, and he hasn't gotten into anyone's company. Nick was skeptical that Kane was more into his kids than his fortune. Phyllis said Kane is beating himself up over his lies. He's not going ahead with his plan. Nick speculated that Kane might just be faking it. Phyllis said she can understand Kane's level of pain. Phyllis said she wanted respect and recognition for her skills. That's all she wanted, but not at the cost of freedom or her relationship with Daniel and Summer. "Thanks for butting in," Phyllis told her ex. Nick looked back at the view and pondered whether Kane had ever been there. Phyllis said to look over all the people he wanted to control, maybe? Nick asked Phyllis if she ever did that. "Maybe," she replied. Phyllis said that when she looks down, she sees home. She likes looking at the beautiful hawks. Nick leaned in and requested assistance. She said okay before he said what it was. Phyllis said it didn't matter. Nick asked Phyllis for help to save Genoa City. He wanted to share with him what Kane shared with her. Phyllis promised to keep Nick in the loop. He kissed her and left. Then, Phyllis left a message on Kane's, phone, asking, "You son of a bitch. Why didn't you tell me what you were getting me into?" The latest chapter of The Young and the Restless unfolded with layers of emotion, secrets, and dangerous confessions, proving once again that Genoa City thrives on the balance between love, lies, and legacy. The story opened with a surprisingly tender moment between Tessa and Daniel. In Chancellor Park, the duo bonded over music, a recurring theme that has long been Tessa's safe space but now became Daniel's outlet for reflection and expression. Tessa performed a heartfelt song in the open air, her voice carrying over the quiet park as Daniel accompanied her with a simple but steady guitar strum. The two exchanged playful banter about the quality of Daniel's songwriting, with Tessa urging him to take it more seriously and even nudging him toward the possibility of going professional. Daniel, who has long wrestled with insecurity over his own talents, found comfort in Tessa's encouragement, and their laughter revealed a light-hearted connection that was almost suspiciously warm given the complexities of their personal lives. When Daniel jokingly invited Tessa to attend his father Danny's upcoming wedding with Christine, Tessa teased him back but made it clear that she valued their partnership and friendship. Their argument was about more than just music. It was also about healing, regaining self-assurance, and establishing a supportive environment together. Yet even as this moment bloomed, the arrival of Mariah cast a heavy shadow. Her appearance disrupted the cozy flow, her presence clouded with visible tension. When Tessa excused Daniel, she instantly knew her partner was carrying a weight far heavier than fatigue. Mariah admitted that her mind had been going to dark places, and she feared that even her time with their daughter Aria wasn't enough to shake the storm inside her. She revealed that her therapist had suggested a clinic in Boston, a drastic step that would mean separation, absence, and uncertainty. Tessa, protective as always, bristled at the idea. She couldn't stand the thought of Mariah being encouraged to run away instead of facing her pain head-on with family support. The conversation descended into feelings of shame and self-doubt before Mariah finally revealed the secret she had been avoiding. "I tried to kill a man." Her trembling voice broke the tension. That admission, stark and raw, was a seismic moment, not just for Mariah's marriage but for the entire canvas of Genoa City, because buried confessions never stay buried for long. While Mariah's shocking words threatened to shift the foundation of her relationship with Tessa, another couple in turmoil was grappling with their own test of love and trust. Kyle poured his heart out to Claire at Crimson Lights, reiterating his love for her in spite of the shadow cast by secrets and past mistakes. Claire, still scarred by the manipulations of her Aunt Jordan, was wary of betrayal. She reminded Kyle that honesty had been the cornerstone of what drew her to him, but his hidden deal with her grandfather Victor, and his delayed confession about kissing Audra in Nice, cut her deeply. Kyle attempted to explain that Victor's disapproval of their relationship forced his hand, that his $5 million offer to the Newman patriarch was meant as a shield of protection for her, not a betrayal. His dramatic gesture of self-sacrifice only deepened Claire's conflict, touched by his devotion, yet hurt by the concealment. The tug-of-war between love and mistrust played across every word they exchanged. Claire worried that perhaps more than a kiss had happened with Audra, and she questioned if their relationship could ever truly recover from fractured trust. Kyle begged for a chance to repair the damage, insisting that money and contracts had never been his true concern, it was her. But Claire, caught between her heart and her instincts, admitted she couldn't simply let the past slide. She needed time, space, and clarity, even if that meant stepping away from him. The sweet exchange ended not in a breakup but rather in a suspension, as if their love story had been put on hold, leaving both characters in a fog of uncertainty. Meanwhile, across town, Phyllis was navigating a different battlefield. Her entanglement with Kane and his increasingly dangerous schemes. At Chancellor Park, she found herself face-to-face with Nick, who was growing more desperate to protect her from the pitfalls of Kane's manipulations. Their conversation, laced with banter and sharp remarks, revealed Nick's suspicion that Kane was exploiting Phyllis's tech skills for a larger plan, one that involved infiltrating corporate systems with software designed to destabilize companies, forcing them into desperate sales. Phyllis, ever defiant, pushed back against Nick's interrogation, refusing to admit complicity while insisting that she hadn't crossed any legal lines. Still, beneath her bravado, cracks showed. Her desire for recognition, for respect in her field, was undeniable, and Nick correctly read that Kane was preying on her hunger for validation. When Nick pressed her for truthfulness and she softened long enough to reassure him that she had not put her freedom or the future of her children in jeopardy, their conversation evoked fond memories of their previous chemistry. But even as Nick extracted a promise of cooperation, Phyllis's darker impulses emerged when she later called Kane's voicemail in fury, demanding answers for dragging her into his web. Her words, "You son of a bitch. Why didn't you tell me what you were getting me into?" proved that while she wasn't guilty yet, she was undeniably caught in a dangerous orbit, and one wrong move could collapse everything around her. The episode threaded these parallel storylines together with skill, painting a broader picture of a community teetering on the edge of revelations. Mariah's confession hinted at a dark past incident, perhaps an act of desperation or a long-buried mistake that now threatened to unravel her fragile stability. Tessa's loyalty would be tested like never before, forcing her to weigh unconditional love against the chilling knowledge that her wife once tried to take a life. For Kyle and Claire, the stakes were different but no less dire. Their love, though real, was vulnerable to mistrust and outside influence, particularly with Victor Newman's hand manipulating the pieces. And for Phyllis, her flirtation with Kane's schemes carried the potential to ignite a corporate war that could drag Nick, Victor, and half of Genoa City into chaos. Thematically, each plot explored the price of secrets, whether whispered in confession, hidden in contracts, or encoded in lines of code. In classic Young and the Restless fashion, the episode closed without true resolution but with heightened tension across every front. Mariah's revelation was left hanging in the air, her words echoing like a loaded gun waiting to fire. Tessa, shocked and shaken, had no immediate answer, leaving viewers to wonder whether her love could withstand such a revelation. Kyle and Claire's bittersweet laughter in the wake of heartache was a temporary balm, but their future was left uncertain, particularly with Audra's inevitable reappearance looming over them. Phyllis's secret phone call to Kane promised that the war was far from over, and Nick's plea for her help to save Genoa City underscored that the stakes extended far beyond personal relationships into the fate of the entire community. This episode wasn't just about plot, it was about the way secrets become currency in Genoa City, traded, confessed, hidden, and weaponized. The revelation of Mariah's killer marked a turning point that had the potential to alter her marriage, her identity, and even her role as a mother. Kyle's fractured trust with Claire highlighted how even love built on redemption can falter under the weight of dishonesty. The ongoing conflict that Phyllis faced between her need for respect and her propensity to make risky decisions was brought to light by her involvement with Kane. And through it all, the Newman and Abbott dynasties remained at the center, their legacies shaping the lives of every character caught in their gravitational pull.